What if the next great explorer of Mars isn't human? Not a pioneer in a pressure suit, not a boots-on-the-ground astronaut chasing history, but a machine, a creation of wire and will, sent alone, into silence. We've long told stories about reaching the stars, tales of bravery, of sacrifice, of footprints pressed into alien soil. But what if the future unfolds without us? Right now, in labs sealed from daylight, on test ranges buried in Arctic winds, and deep within spacecraft already en route to other worlds, there are machines being trained not just to assist, but to lead. They are designed to act without orders, to analyze, adapt, survive, without hesitation. They won't panic, they won't sleep, they won't miss home, but they will decide. In the vacuum between planets, no signal can arrive in time. No command can reach them before the moment passes. So these machines will choose who gets saved, what's worth protecting, when to turn back, and when to push forward, alone. And if something goes wrong, there's no one coming. This isn't science fiction, it's already happening. We are witnessing the birth of something extraordinary, not just tools, not just instruments, but explorers in their own right. Some of them will map oceans beneath alien ice. Others will walk the red deserts of Mars, without ever leaving a footprint. And a few, just a few, may go farther than anything human ever could. So far, in fact, that they may become our only voice in the dark. But not all of them will come home, and not all of them will want to. In the early days of space exploration, robots weren't part of the dream. They were backup, afterthoughts, tools that could reach what astronauts couldn't, but never anything more. The moon was claimed by human hands, faces behind visors, voices crackling through analog radios. But just behind the scenes, something quieter was unfolding. Before anyone walked on lunar soil, there were machine prototypes, remote tools, digging claws, deployable antennas, basic, fragile. But they hinted at a larger question. Could machines explore where we can't? It wasn't until 1997 that we got an answer. A six-wheeled robot named Sojourner became the first explorer to roam another planet. It wasn't flashy, it wasn't fast, but it worked, and it changed everything. That moment, the hum of Sojourner's wheels over Martian rock sparked a quiet revolution. Suddenly the frontier didn't require lungs or bones, it required code. Terry Fong, we used to say robots were extensions of our eyes and hands. But what if they could become our minds as well? Narrator Fong wasn't alone. A new generation of NASA engineers, roboticists and dreamers began to imagine machines as more than equipment. They imagined them as explorers, autonomous, resilient, emotionally disconnected but mission-obsessed. The motive was clear: space is vast, cruel, deadly. The farther we reach, the less viable the human body becomes. Radiation, muscle atrophy, oxygen deprivation. The laws of biology buckle under the weight of distance. But robots, they don't breathe, they don't bleed, they don't hesitate, but can they dream? That question would linger for years. Because the moment we built a machine capable of making decisions on another world, we crossed a threshold, not just across space, but across something more profound. A new way of thinking about exploration, not through humanity, but through what humanity builds. At first, space robots were like hands in a vacuum, precise, obedient, blind. They followed commands, nothing more. But what happens when they start thinking for themselves? For decades, NASA and DARPA pushed robotics to the edge of possibility, quietly feeding them intelligence, machine learning, adaptive control, pattern recognition. And then, something shifted. Meet Astrobee, a cube-shaped bot designed not just to move but to observe, react, and decide. It doesn't wait for orders. It maps its environment, avoids obstacles, updates its mission plan in real time. Astrobee doesn't just float, it chooses. Now imagine this. A robot faced with conflicting priorities. Power is failing. A critical experiment is collapsing. Communications are down. There's no time to call home. No one to give it permission. It has to decide. Enter ROSA, the first fully adaptive artificial intelligence deployed for real-time decision-making in orbit. Built not to follow orders but to weigh them. Power redistribution, threat analysis. It doesn't panic, it calculates. But with intelligence came risk, because every decision ROSA makes is one we no longer control. NASA called it a milestone, but in hushed voices some called it something else. A warning. Robonaut, once seen as a mechanical assistant, is now being upgraded. Its newer iterations include semi-autonomous systems, visual processing, gesture recognition. It doesn't just follow you, it predicts you. And this shift, this blur between command and cognition, creates a tension NASA can't ignore. Because in the vacuum of space, every second matters. A delay of just one moment can mean catastrophe. So the question is no longer can robots help us, it's, can a machine be trusted to choose who lives and who dies? Not because it wants to, but because no one else is left to decide. Before a robot ever touches alien soil, it has to survive Earth first. Here, in the remote deserts of Utah and the frozen lava fields of Iceland, the future is buried beneath the dust. These places were chosen because they hurt, because they fail machines. And that's the point. Because if a robot can't survive Earth's unpredictability, it will never survive Mars's silence. Multi-million-dollar systems have buckled here. Navigation software misfires, motors stall. No matter how advanced the AI, reality has a way of rewriting the rules. Failure isn't just common, it's necessary. It's the only way these machines learn, and the only way we do too. But behind every robot is a person. Someone who spent years designing, coding, testing, and sometimes breaking. These machines aren't just metal, they carry something invisible. Expectation, belief, fear, because once they're launched, we never see them again. We're not just building tech, we're sending our children into the void, and that bond, that attachment, is something no blueprint prepares you for. And that opened the floodgates, because if a machine begins to reflect us, to feel what we fear, what happens when we send it alone into the void? Will it complete the mission, or will it stop and wait for a voice that never comes? We built her to mimic us, and now we ask ourselves, should we have? For the engineers, it was triumph. For the ethicists, it was a warning. Because the moment a machine decides against us, even for the right reason, is the moment we are no longer the smartest thing in orbit. The age of robotic exploration isn't coming, it's already landed. From NASA's Perseverance to China's Zhurong to the ESA's soon-to-launch Rosalind Franklin rover, every machine that touches Martian soil isn't just a mission. It's a message. We were here first. But it's not just governments anymore. Private ventures are entering the race with their own robotic fleets, including Elon Musk's rumored cyborg cargo initiative. Compact bots designed for underground base construction. Not all plans are public, some deliberately hidden. In 2024, a leaked internal document revealed a US military-funded program, Autonomous Orbital Weaponization Systems. Small, fast, robotic, not designed to explore, designed to deny. No one confirmed it, but no one denied it either. As the world pushes to Mars, it's no longer just about who gets there. It's about who controls what arrives, and what stays. Because in the new frontier, flags don't mean power, algorithms do. We once thought the stars were the final destination. Now, they may become the archive. By 2035, plans are in place. Robotic probes, some the size of buses, others no larger than a beetle, will land on Titan, Europa, and in the swirling shadows of Saturn's rings. They won't wait for commands. They won't ask for help. They will decide and act alone. Some will be explorers, some will be scientists, and some may be the last to witness what we never will. Dr. Aisha Rahman, systems futurist, once said, "We may be building humanity's memory stick, because in the end these machines won't just carry tools. They'll carry us, our languages, our fears, our questions, our hope, and long after our voices fall silent, they may be the ones still asking the question, is anyone out there? Or perhaps the deeper question, did anyone leave something behind, worth remembering?" We've imagined ourselves as the authors of the universe's story. But what if the final chapter is written not by us, but by the machine we built to carry our voice into eternity? They won't breathe, they won't bleed, they won't cry when they're alone. But in every circuit, every line of code, we've left something human behind. Not just metal but memory. These machines may one day wander beyond the limits of light, silent witnesses to what we were, how we thought, what we feared, what we dared to dream. In every bolt and bite we've embedded our greatest question: are we alone, and who will find out? If this changed the way you see the future, like, subscribe and join the mission, because the next generation of explorers is already online.